The US military's new recruitment ad has a hidden message. That message can be captured in one simple word: greatness. It's stated most clearly about halfway through the ad when the president says,
"And the whole world will admire the unrivaled greatness of the United States military."
Unrivaled greatness. That's how the military wants you to see it. And it's how most Americans already do. Poll after poll shows the same thing. The military is just about the only institution most of us still trust. More than organized labor, more than the police, more even than the church. So how did this happen? My name's Ken Klippenstein. I'm an investigative reporter, and I've covered national security for over a decade. In all of those years, I have never seen anything lay out the role of national security in this country as nakedly as this ad does. I've watched it dozens of times, and here's what I've noticed. Take a look at this part of the ad. The president is shown pointing in awe at munitions drifting out of the sky under parachutes. Now, I want you to think about that for just a second. The most powerful leader in the entire world is not the focus of this ad. The military is. And he's the one looking up at it in awe. That, in a nutshell, is the whole idea of this ad, which the Pentagon says is its first since rebranding as the Department of War. And it's what they want in front of millions of Americans this Sunday when it debuts during a UFC fight on the South Lawn of the White House. The ad runs about 90 minutes long. In that time, it crosses nearly every kind of place on Earth, giving it an epic feeling like you're watching a Dune movie. Wind, water, sky, fire. By touching all of these, the military stops reading as a government agency and starts to feel more like an elemental force of nature, one that was here before you were and will be here long after you're gone. Now watch this again and look for faces. You almost never see one. You'll notice that the soldiers are turned away from the camera or buried under helmets or masked, swallowed in the dark. Faces flash past, but never long enough for you to land on one person. And that includes the president, the most recognizable face in the country, reduced to a gesture, a hand pointing at the sky. That is not an accident. You are not meant to see individuals because the ad isn't about any individual. It's about an institution, and it's about something that you're supposed to disappear into and become bigger than yourself. This all reminds me of what the drill instructor character said in Full Metal Jacket. The Marine Corps lives forever, and that means you live forever. If you've ever stood inside of one of those enormous cathedrals in Europe, you know the feeling this ad is reaching for. Not comfort, but something closer to religious terror. The awe of standing very small beneath something vast and old, something that makes you feel almost like nothing at all. That feeling is the product that this ad is selling. And it's the same product the military has been selling since World War II. Permanence, security, stability, safety. Solid ground in a world of chaos and constant change. And Americans buy it, literally. The Pentagon's budget just crossed $1 trillion for the first time, and next year's request is $1.5 trillion. It'll probably get it because people buy the story. The ancient Egyptians had their pyramids, we have the Pentagon. A world-bestriding monument to our own power, the thing we pour our wealth into, the thing we point to and say, look, this is who we are. So how exactly did the military become the most trusted institution in America? Certainly not by being the most trustworthy, and definitely not by winning wars. Look around. It became the most trustworthy by becoming something you can't quite see the edges of, by selling itself in a way you'd sell God, as vast, eternal, beyond any one place or any one person. Now here's the part that should give you pause. It certainly gave me pause. The framers of the Constitution feared exactly this, a standing army so powerful it would tower over everything else in American life. They were so wary of this that they wrote a rule into the Constitution that the government could not fund the army for more than 2 years at a time. They wanted a short leash by design. But of course, the military slipped out of that leash, not by force, but by persuasion. It sold the public on an idea that it is a kind of American God that offers safety and stability in an unpredictable world. And fittingly, God is exactly the subject that this ad ends on.
God bless you. God bless our armed forces. God bless our men and women serving overseas. And God bless the United States of America.